Have you ever heard someone say, "Put salt in your wallet before you sleep"? It might sound odd at first, but this simple act carries deep cultural and spiritual meaning in many Muslim communities. While it's not a direct command from Islam, some believe it holds symbolic power, reminding us of barakah, halal rizq, and protection from harm. But what really happens when you do this? Is there a hidden wisdom behind it? In this video, we'll explore the surprising truth about this practice through the lens of Islamic values, intention, and spiritual awareness. You won't believe what it can teach you. 1. Spiritual symbolism of salt in Islam. In Islamic tradition, salt holds a quiet but meaningful place in daily life. Though it may not be widely discussed in scholarly texts, many Muslims across various cultures associate salt with spiritual purity and simplicity. Salt was part of the Prophet Muhammad's sallallahu alaihi wasallam humble diet. He is known to have started and ended meals with it. This subtle use signifies a connection to cleanliness and humility, two highly regarded values in Islam. Beyond its physical use, salt is often seen as a natural purifier. Just as it preserves food from spoiling, some believe it symbolically preserves one's blessings from being corrupted by negative forces like envy, hasad, or arrogance. In households, a pinch of salt may be placed in corners or carried for spiritual comfort, not as a superstitious act, but as a cultural habit grounded in intention. When placed in a wallet, salt becomes more than a mineral. It transforms into a personal reminder of divine sustenance, modesty in wealth, and the need to keep our earnings spiritually clean and blessed. 2. Not a direct Sunnah or Qur'anic command. It's important to clarify that the practice of placing salt in one's wallet is not found in the Qur'an or the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Islam is a religion based on clear guidance from the Qur'an, the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and scholarly consensus. Therefore, any such action should never be taken as a religious obligation or guaranteed method of increasing rizq, provision. However, in many Muslim cultures, symbolic practices like this emerge as spiritual habits passed down through generations. These are not forms of worship, but rather personal or cultural rituals that some people use to express hope, protection, or gratitude. As long as they don't contradict Islamic beliefs or lead to superstition, they may serve a harmless symbolic purpose. The true source of barakah and protection in wealth is tawakkul, reliance on Allah, halal earnings, and regular remembrance of Allah. While placing salt may offer comfort or serve as a reminder, it should never replace Islamic principles or be viewed as a substitute for dua, charity, or honest effort. Reminder of halal wealth and gratitude. In Islam, halal income is not just encouraged, it's essential. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized earning through lawful means and warned against wealth gained through dishonesty, deceit, or exploitation. Placing salt in one's wallet may not have a direct religious basis, but it can act as a powerful personal reminder to maintain purity in our earnings. Every time a person sees the salt, it can quietly whisper a lesson. Is what I earn pleasing to Allah? This subtle symbol can promote self-reflection and accountability in financial matters. It reminds the believer to avoid riba, interest, fraud, and unlawful trade, and instead strive for rizq that carries barakah, divine blessing. Additionally, it can instill a deep sense of shukr, gratitude. Salt, simple, common, and essential, mirrors the often overlooked blessings in our lives. By placing something so humble next to money, we acknowledge that even the smallest blessings are valuable and should not be taken for granted. Gratitude, after all, is a key to increase from Allah. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you. Quran 14:7. 4. Spiritual protection and ruqyah reference. In many Muslim households, salt is believed to have properties that offer spiritual protection, though this idea is rooted in cultural tradition rather than religious obligation. The concept draws inspiration from the Islamic principle of ruqyah, the recitation of specific verses and du'as for protection against evil, envy, hasad, and the unseen harms of jinn or black magic, seer. While ruqyah is firmly based in the Sunnah, the use of salt as a protective symbol is cultural and should never replace genuine Islamic practices. Some people place a pinch of salt near doors, windows, or even in wallets with the belief that it absorbs negativity and repels spiritual harm. While Islam does not endorse the salt itself, having power, intention, niyyah, matters deeply. If a person uses salt not as a superstition, but as a reminder to stay spiritually protected through prayer, morning and evening adhkar, and reliance on Allah, the action becomes meaningful. Ultimately, true protection lies only with Allah. Salt may serve as a symbolic cue to seek divine shielding through authentic Islamic means. 5. Importance of intentions. Niyyah. In Islam, niyyah, intention, is the foundation of every action. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Actions are judged by intentions, and every person will get what they intended." Bukhari and Muslim. This powerful hadith reminds us that even simple or cultural acts can carry deep spiritual meaning if they are rooted in sincere intentions. When a person places salt in their wallet, the act itself holds no power, but the intention behind it can shape the outcome. If the intention is to seek Allah's blessings, remain mindful of halal earnings, and protect oneself from envy or harm while remembering Allah's name, then that intention can transform the act into a form of dhikr, remembrance. Islam does not support superstition or belief in the power of objects, but Islam does teach that a heart turned toward Allah in hope, humility, and sincerity is beloved in His sight. Therefore, the salt is not what brings barakah. It is the soul behind the act, the silent dua within the believer, and the trust placed in Allah alone. In the end, remember, it's not the salt, but your intention, faith, and trust in Allah that truly bring blessings into your life. Islam teaches us to seek halal, stay grateful, and always protect our rizq with dua and sincerity. If placing salt in your wallet helps you stay mindful of these values, then let it be a symbol of your commitment to purity and barakah. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sacred Deen for more spiritual insights. Comment below. Ya Allah, bless my rizq and protect it from harm. Ameen.